Welcome to the Ostium off-season. We've got a lot planned between now and the start of Season 2, so get comfortable and prepare yourself for lots of new Ostium in the form of mini-episodes, outtakes, and an in-depth look at the music of Ostium, and short interviews with members of Team Ostium. Ostium takes a lot of work from Team Ostium, who all have busy full-time jobs. You can support Ostium in two ways, either by becoming an Ostium patron at patreon.com/OstiumPodcast for as little as $2 a month, where you'll get access to brand new mini-episodes every 2 weeks, like the one you're about to listen to, or by making a one-time donation in the amount of your choice by clicking on the donate button on the Ostium website at ostiumpodcast.com. Thank you for your support. And if you haven't already, please give Ostium a review on iTunes, as this helps people find the podcast and learn why people like you and I enjoy traveling to this very special place called Ostium. Okay, enough small talk. Let's get this mini-episode started. And now here's Save the Clock Tower.
It's a new day. Another one beginning. And today's the day I see what's waiting to scare the shit out of me behind door number 4. But you know me, I like to be in control, in charge of the situation, running the show, if I can. When it comes to Ostium, there's only one thing in charge. Calling the shots, manipulating the puppet strings. Ostium. And yet there's still one other I have to get control of. A few puppet strings I get to tweak and jingle. And those strings belong to Mr. Cutie, Mr. Ostium's #1 fan. Yeah, I like these digs, but I don't love them, if you know what I mean. Mr. Cutie can have it all, enjoy it all. I'm just along for the ride. And it's been a pretty damn wild one so far. Can't wait to see what's on the other side of the 4th door. Because this is the day Mr. Cutie gets to finally meet yours truly, Ms. Monica. And we'll see how that all goes down. In the meantime, I've got other plans. Well, just one, really. It came to me in a flash of insight when I was working on that complete inventory yesterday, checking out the nooks and crannies of this place. There's one thing I'd forgotten to check on, one mystery that would still need solving. It was its own mystery. It would need its own set of time and place to be conducted and hopefully solved. So I tacked it to the inside wall of my skull for safekeeping, for later reconnoitering. I had a full schedule yesterday, but today's the day. With my background, time is of the essence. Fucking always. So I like getting things measured down to the second. Nah, just kidding. That's too fucking obsessive. But to the minute, if possible. Give or take 5. So I've got it pretty well worked out. I expect Mr. Cutie to make his entrance to Ostium as close to 10:30 hours as he can manage. So I got me some time. Not much. Some. Enough. I woke up this early morning with a line running through my head. That's what I get for pasting ideas on the inside of my forehead. No fucked up dream this time, thankfully. The line was, "Save the clock tower." It meant jack shit to me at first. I had to dig through those memory banks for a while, over breakfast. Then it came to me. Back to the Future. Marty McFly, Doc Brown, and that goddamn clock tower. The one that was struck by lightning. In, when the hell was it? 1955? 1965? Anyway, not fucking important. And how the whole movie kind of revolved around that timekeeping device, with the clock always ticking. The camera reminding us what time it was on that big dial, where the hands were. Doc Brown hanging fucking wire from it and ziplining down to the ground because something got unplugged. Anyway, enough nerding out. You get the idea. But it got me thinking about Ostium, of course. And hey, guess what? Ostium has its very own clock tower too. And hey, guess what? It doesn't work either. Did it get struck by lightning? Fuck knows. But here I am, bunking down inside a building that has a clock tower reaching out of it, like a rocket ship pointed at the moon. And I kind of blew it off from day one. It wasn't working. No biggie. Not important. other stuff to focus on, stuff that actually works. But you see, there's no clear way to get up to that damn clock tower. None that I've seen, at least. Yet. A big yet. Nothing inside this building that's a sort of attic door with a sign on it saying, "This way to check the time." So that's what I'm going to be doing with this bit of spare time I've carved out for myself. Let's see if we can find out what's going on behind Mr. Clockface. I'm outside. With nothing pointing up inside, that leaves only one option. I start circumventing the building, taking it slow, scrutinizing the wooden walls, looking for anything that doesn't add up. It all looks like every other goddamn wall and building in this town. I make it to the back wall, just a big space of plain solid wood. No windows back here, so really nothing to look at, which pings with me. Something ain't right. All the other walls have windows. I haven't really taken note of where the windows are on the inside. When you're inside something in Ostium, you don't really care about the outside until you're not inside anymore. So why is the backside of this building a bare wall of wood? Something is up with this derriere. Jeez, that was awful. Okay, mental note, don't try to be funny. You can't, you fail. I run my hands over the wall, going up and down each plank. Ostium is old, hella old. I've already mentioned that. Fortunately, the wood they used to build this place wasn't cheap-ass wood, so I'm doing this because I know I'm not getting a bunch of splinters lancing into my skin. After each vertical plank is checked, I study my palm just to be sure. I'm splinter-free. Good. And that is when I feel my palm sink a little. A depression in the wood. I immediately stop. My hand is still there. I probably should have pulled it away. Sinking into wood can't be a good thing, especially as I stare at my hand. There's no indication, nothing. My hand looks like it's lightly resting on the plank. Nothing out of the ordinary. Everything is business as usual, according to Mr. Wall. Great. I slowly lift my hand away from the wall. It comes away easy. No sucking, nothing holding it back. Good. I turn around and study my palm. It's smooth. Flawless. Looks like it normally does. Okay then. Let's proceed. Cautiously. The wood looks normal. Flat, rigid, wooden. I slowly put my hand back in the spot it was in. It sinks down again. It feels kinda cup-shaped around my palm. I rotate my hand clockwise and counterclockwise. The invisible indentation feels like it fits my hands pretty well, so it's hand-shaped then. I explore delicately with my fingers and find further indentations. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, one for the thumb too. So we're not thinking ancient aliens from Total Recall. Also good. I'm about middle of the wall, so I try something, taking a few steps to the right, my left palm to the left of my head. I raise my right hand and touch the wall, parallel to my left. There's another indentation. It's the same shape. My fingers and thumb find their spots. It happens right away. There's a sound low down in the area of my feet. It's a wooden sound, then another one. Same sound higher up by my knees, then another at my waist. The next one is at my chest, then my head. The sound keeps repeating and going up, higher and higher. Then they stop, and there's just an impending silence. I've got a pretty good idea what just happened. Time to test that hypothesis. I reach out with my right foot, and my toe hits the wall. I move my foot down a little, then up a little. I find it, a rung. I reach in front of my head, find another rung, just as invisible. It's cylindrical, it feels wooden, definitely not metal. I reach up with my other hand in search of another rung. I soon find it, and then I step up with my foot. I begin ascending the invisible ladder. I About halfway up, I take a break, look down and around me. I have to grip hard on the wooden rung in front of my face that I cannot see. It looks like I'm climbing a flat wall without any help. Yeah, Spider-Man, get in line. It's disconcerting. I look up again, focusing on the future, looking at the positive, and keep going up the ladder. At the top, I easily climb onto the roof. There's an angle, but not much of one. If I walk carefully, I'll be fine. I take a look back, down the wall to the ground. I know you're not supposed to, especially if all you see is a flat, bare wall. Getting back down is going to be tricky. I'll have to take it slow, but that's a problem for later me. Ahead, I can see the clock tower. Well, the back of it, it's all wood, like the building. I walk towards it. Once I reach it, I gaze up. It stretches 15 feet above my head. I wait a second, then apply the same method. It doesn't take me long to find the indentations. Same sounds. Then I'm climbing up a new invisible ladder. After the third rung, my brain starts doing what it's supposed to, thinking ahead. Is there a door on this side? Above? I look. Nope. So what am I going to do exactly when I reach the last rung? We'll worry about that later, I tell myself. And then it's later, and I'm all out of rungs. I'm not at the very top. There's about 4 feet left. Each side of the clock tower is like the other. Solid, flat wood. Except for the side with a clock on it. The opposite side to the one I'm on. Then there's a cracking wood sound, like something's carving. Before my eyes, 6 letters form before me. Monica. Whoa. Once again, I almost lose my grip. The prospect to slamming into the wooden roof below is enough to snap me to attention. My hands are gripping tight to the invisible lumber. More crunching, and then a wooden doorknob grows out of the wood, right in front of me, just to the left of my name. Okay then. I wait for my breath to slow, my heart to resume its normal circadian rhythm. Then I reach out a shaky hand and grasp the knob. It's warm, freshly made, like bread. It doesn't turn, so I give it a tug. The door with invisible edges opens before me. I'm holding on tight with my other hand, my feet curling over the edge of the rung. I'm stable. At first, all I see is darkness inside, just like opening one of the doors. Then golden light floods into the small space, like beer filling a pitcher. Yes, you can pick your draft of choice. I see the back of the clock on the other wall. It's white, semi-transparent. I can see the numbers, the hands, both clinging to 12. And then I think I get it. Finally. It hadn't occurred to me. I hadn't really thought about it. The hands both point to the 12. Ergo, number 12 is important. Whatever was going to be behind door number 12 would be a big deal. It was pretty obvious. Actually, okay then, mental note. File that away for later, and let's not forget about it. In the meantime, letting go of the doorknob, I climb into the small room, crouching on my knees. It's not big enough to stand in, but not super tight, like a space capsule. It's all unpainted wood on the inside, much like the outside. Not sure if it was a trick of the light, but I didn't see them from the outside. On the inside, they're clear as day, clear as a photograph, because that's what they are. Black and white photographs, people from my past, from the base. Headshots of proud men standing in uniform. Private Colling, Sergeant Harris, many more. 12 in total, forming an almost complete circle around me. I knew each and every one of them. I'd left each and every one of them behind. Intentionally. I was done with that part of my life. that world. Why were they here? Why were photos of them here? My name had been on the door. It was Ostium. Ostium telling me something. Telling me I wasn't done with that part of my life. I wasn't done with them. Then I saw it. One last photo. It was on the ground. Crumpled, dirty. It looked trodden on, ignored, forgotten. Right beneath the clock. I reached out and picked it up. I pulled it open tenderly like petals of a fallen flower. It was Steve. Black and white. Looking goddamn handsome as ever. Someone, or something, had scrawled Ostium diagonally across the photo with a thick black marker. Did this mean definitively that Steve was gone? I don't know. Didn't want to think so. Part of me wanted to take the photo, to keep it as a memento, like the little statue, but instead I crumpled it up again, put it back where I found it. I took a last look at each of the 12 photos around me, then I crawled out ass backwards, closing the door and climbing down. Getting down the ladder on the wall was easier than I thought. My feet seemed to know where to find the first rung. It was cake after that. When I reached solid ground, I felt shaky, needed to regain my balance. I took a few deep breaths and headed for the shower. I was going to need the water to be really hot to help process all that had happened. After that, it would be door 4 and dealing with Mr. Cutie.
This episode was written and produced by Alex C. Tillander. It was performed by Georgia McKenzie. Any background music featured in this episode was courtesy of the Free Music Archive. Thanks for listening. See you in 2 weeks.